Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at this lovely USB microphone from Blue. Right now, for a comparison, we're listening to the audio from the Sony a7S, same sort of distance that I'm talking to the Blue microphone, and actually the Sony a7S has a very decent microphone considering that it's a built-in microphone, but the Blue obviously is better. It's intended for voice recording and singing, and it's intended to be portable. And now we've moved over to the Blue Raspberry microphone, and this is at the same distance from my face as the camera. It's about 6 inches away, and I think this is a really good distance. It works really well with this kind of microphone, at least for the kind of sound that I like. Obviously, if you record further away, it's going to have a different sound, and if you record really up close, then it's going to have a sort of a radio sound, which I think is kind of nice sometimes, and I really like that I have a microphone that does that pretty well. Even though it's not one of the most expensive microphones out there, I think it actually does a pretty good job at this. I don't have a good pop screen, so I'm actually using my Windcut brand of fur windscreen. Fake fur, obviously, not an actual dead animal. And this is working pretty well as a pop filter. I'm talking right into the microphone right here, so it's about 1 or 2 inches away from my face, and I think it's doing a pretty damn good job. It's obviously not perfect. It's not the way a professional recording studio does it. I actually think this is a great addition to the Blue microphone because it doubles as a sort of carry case, a very padded carry case. And then you just lift it up a bit so you can reach the controls on the microphone. And then it's a windscreen or a pop filter. Here's the Blue microphone without a pop filter, and I'm just talking a little bit away from the microphone so that if I do exhale some air, then it doesn't go into the microphone and cause a pop. And that actually works pretty well, just talking slightly away from the microphone, not directly to it. And then here the exact same thing, and I'm talking directly towards the microphone, and it's literally like 1 inch away from my lips. And I think it's doing a pretty good job. Maybe it's not perfect, make very windy sounds, then we could maybe make a bit of noise just a little bit further away, and still some potential for some popping. Here's the exact same thing again with the pop filter / windscreen on it, and I think it sounds pretty good, and I can talk directly into the microphone with windy sounds, and it's much better. I also love how easy it is to plug some headphones into this and monitor your audio. You have a dial for adjusting how much of yourself you hear, and as far as I can tell, there is no lag between you talking and what you hear back, your own voice. So it's just really easy and comfortable to talk. If I turn it down, then I find that it helps me control the volume of my voice pretty well, and if I turn it up, then I can hear all the really tiny differences that I can make with my voice, and it just helps me to create a really nice voice. I think it's nice. Now this comes with a little stand, which I think is nice. It's pretty compact, a little bit on the heavy side because it is metal. With the little stand, it was a little bit more awkward to position the microphone exactly where I wanted it, especially because my table is quite a bit lower than I am. It's sort of about my belly height. So I would have to sort of bend down a little bit to get to where the microphone was. And the stand can sort of lift the microphone up higher, but it's still not ideal. It just works so much better when you have a proper stand for it, even though my stand is not proper. It's a tripod with an extension arm, which I love, by the way, link below. But it's nice that they've included a stand, and it's super easy to replace it with whatever else you want. I have mine on the little Joby quick release plate, so I can easily clip it onto my tripod when I'm not using it for my camera, or I can clip it onto my little GorillaPod. Now here is a test of lowering the input on the microphone so that it's recording at a much lower volume than I should be recording on the computer. And then I'm going to raise it in post so that it's louder. Great. And here an extreme test where I've just got it super low. And I think the last thing to show you here is that when you have the microphone a little bit too far away from you, then you might get some echo and, hearing some unwanted stuff from around the room. It's sort of wanting to pick up more from the front of the microphone where the logo is, which you should have the logo facing towards you. It's not that directional. So here at 1.5 foot away, you are hearing a bit more of sort of echo around the room and me moving my hands. And let's say I'm recording 2 people, so maybe it's like 2 feet away from each person. Then once again, it's going to have less of my voice and more of the environment. In my opinion, this type of microphone works better up close, or at least not too far away. This microphone has a built-in preamp, and many cheaper ones don't. I will link down below to some videos of mine showing some cheaper options. Most of those are going to want to be plugged into something with a good preamp. So I would say that if you want a microphone that sounds really good, that plugs directly into your laptop or your phone without any additional recording equipment, then this thing sounds great. I'm really, really enjoying using it. I'm really impressed with the results. And finally, here's a comparison with a camera that doesn't sound so good. This is the Yi Action camera. It's not horrible, but compared to a good microphone or a good camera, just the audio is not as good. And then with the original stand, it can actually fit in there as well, but you have to turn this thing sideways like that. And then that closes over like that. Pretty good, I think. This might hold your cable. Like that. So that's 343 grams with the stand, or 243 without it. And the Blue on its own is 174 grams. The Raspberry microphone can plug directly into a mobile phone as well, and does come included with a cable. And you can also go directly from the Blue to a camera like I'm doing right now. I'm just using a normal jack cable going from the headphone output of this and then going into my camera. And this should work fine, but you will need to power the Blue via USB. So you'll need a little USB power bank or something, or just plug it into a computer to give it power. But keep in mind that some USB power bricks will turn off if they don't feel enough power coming out of there. So for example, this power bank won't work with that. And then when you do that, both dials will affect what your camera hears, because this is the volume for this, and this dial is the volume for the outputs of this cable. Now, I used this microphone quite a lot before I actually made the review about it, and I had no issues, but in the actual review audio, I actually did have some little glitches. I think there was only 3 total, and here's the one that was most noticeable. A really nice voice, I think. It's nice. Keep in mind that I'm not... These little glitches only happened a few times, so it was difficult to actually figure out exactly what the problem was, but I'm guessing it was either a one-off issue with the microphone or a problem with my computer or the software, so I don't think it's something you need to worry about. I saw lots of reviews. I didn't hear about anyone else mentioning this. Blue said they've never heard about it, but in any case, when I asked them about it, they said, don't worry, we're going to swap it out for you, and they did, and now I've recorded quite a bit more with the new one, which is why this review's been on hold for about a month. And I've had no issues with it at all. So I don't think it's something you need to worry about. I'd recommend it. I'm definitely keeping this one. You guys know sometimes I review stuff and I don't keep it. But with this one, I like it and I'm keeping it. And remember guys, if you buy a new coat this winter with a fur trim around the hood, please, please, please make sure that it is not made from real fur. No joke, that is a cat or a dog or a rabbit or a furry little animal that was skinned alive. That is the standard practice. It's, I guess, so they don't get blood on the fur or something. And this is just standard. It's not like you can get humane fur. This is the most cruel industry you can imagine. I'd urge you to Google it if you have the stomach for it. But otherwise, just know about it and don't support it. And tell your friends. I think it's such an important thing. And the same thing goes for down fillings. It's just pointless torture. The synthetic stuff actually works much better. It doesn't become absolutely useless if it becomes wet. And by the way, what I'm using to film this is a cheap cake rotating platform kind of thing, and then 2 sets of specular lights from Spiffy. One of them is being held with a GorillaPod, and the other one is with my tripod. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to support this channel, then you can get yours from the links down below. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, and blue, 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 blue. It's me, Mario.